What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another stream. Today we're going from Salt Lake City down to Phoenix, Arizona. So we're getting everything loaded up here in Salt Lake City, and this FSS ERJ with the home cockpit. Got the panels all done. I showcased them a little bit last night, but they're ready to go for you to use. So let's go ahead and get in the cockpit. And so let's get the engine covers and cones taken off. GPU's already started, and let's go ahead and get our clearance. So we need to get Stephanie to get our clearance. Stephanie, can you take over the comms?
Boarding pass, please.
Sure, I'll handle the comms from here.
Welcome on board.
And Stephanie, can you go ahead and get our clearance for us, please? So she's going to get our clearance.
I'll get our clearance from clearance now.
And I'm going to go ahead and get the MCDU all set up on Roy. In 4026.
Cessna 3 Delta Tango. We'd like to receive our IFR clearance. We have whiskey.
No, that's not it.
I'll grab that clearance. Give me just a minute.
Let's see if they switch it whenever we give them. They grab our clearance.
This way, please.
We are using say intentions. So
Cessna 3 Delta Tango, Salt Lake clearance, cleared to Phoenix via the Arches 1 departure, then as filed, climb and maintain 7,000. Expect flight level 350 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 120.9er squawk 2454. Expect runway 34 left.
Salt Lake clearance. Cessna 3 Delta Tango. Cleared to Phoenix via Arches 1, then as filed. Climb to and maintain 7,000.
Call sign.
Anticipate flight level 350 10 minutes post-departure. Departure frequency is 120.9, squawk 2454. Anticipate runway 34 left.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Envoy Air, welcome aboard Flight 4026, departing from Salt Lake City.
Alright, so I didn't have the setting set up inside of the say intentions. So alright, so boarding is complete, so we'll go ahead and apply the active here, and then our departure is going to be runway, it goes 34 left, so go 34 left, and we're doing the Arch 1, or Arch Z1 with the MLF transition, and we'll hit apply, and then our arrival, we are going to be landed on runway 26, and that'll be the ILS, and we'll just take vectors, and we're going to be doing the Bruiser 1 with the tense transition. Alright, so we've got all that set up, and now we'll go over to the fly pad over here, and let's go ahead and get our APU starting. While that's starting, we'll go ahead and finish up our flight details, so we'll import the flight plan and departure, and we're going to be departing 34 left, 34 left, and the conditions are dry. Let's go ahead and recycle the Barrows 3018. 3018 on BFD and on the standby, and first officer over on Stephanie. So that's set up, and calculate, and we'll go ahead and instant on that and send the MCDU. And let's go to perf initialize, and then next our cruising altitude that we are gonna get is 350, so flight level 350. There we go. Alright, there we go. We are all set. And so we are good there. And let's go ahead and get GSX to get ready for our pushback. and ground. Go ahead and disconnect from the GPU.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
And wheel chocks. And alright. Got that all set up. So we are ready for pushback. Let's go to our checklist. And before start, pre-flight checks are being complete. Fuel check. We've got 9,000 pounds of fuel, which is good. And our burn is only going to be 4,000. So do set up. Crew oxygen is set. Altimeters are checked and set. Flight instruments are all set. Climbing to 7,000. Passenger sides are on. And takeoff briefing is. We'll get that here in just a second. Stephanie, would you go ahead and give us a takeoff briefing? And seatbelts are good. Takeoff performance is set. Auto brake is set to RTO.
Taxi clearance to runway 34 left.
Trims. There we go. Trims are set. Doors are good. Beacon is on.
Salt Lake Ground, Envoy 4026, ready to
Transponder.
taxi, holding information whiskey.
Alright, parking brake is off.
4026, Salt Lake Ground, taxi to runway 34 left via 2 east north, 2 west north, Alpha Alpha 1.
Runway 34 left, 2 east north, 2 west north, Alpha Alpha 1, Envoy 4026.
Alright, and we want to go nose to the right. No, nose to the left. Yeah, we want to go nose left.
Release parking brakes, please.
Alright, releasing parking brakes.
Push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Alright, we are ready to start, so we'll go ahead and start engine number 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Envoy Air, welcome aboard Flight 4026, departing from Salt Lake City and heading to Phoenix. We are thrilled to have you with us today. Our captain for this flight is Captain Dustin, and our first officer is First Officer Stephanie. Joining us in the cabin are our wonderful crew members, Sarah, Mike, and Jessica. We expect our flight time to be approximately 1 hour and 18 minutes. Before we take off, I'd like to go over some important safety information. First, please ensure your seatbelt is fastened low and tight across your lap. To unfasten, simply lift the buckle.
ITT's rising, and one is spinning.
Oxygen mask will drop down from the panel above you. Pull the mask towards you. To start the flow of oxygen, place it over your nose and mouth and secure the elastic band behind
Everything's
you.
looking good.
Remember to put your own mask on first before assisting others. For water landing, life vests are located under your seat. To use, pull the vest out
And have a good engine start on the left.
Inflate the vest by pulling the red tab or by blowing it into tube. This EMB 175 has 2 emergency exits located at the front and 2 at the rear of the cabin. In the unlikely event of an emergency, please locate your nearest exit, which may be behind you. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you have a
And we'll go
pleasant
ahead and start engine number 2.
Now, Captain Dustin, the cabin is ready for departure.
Please set parking brake. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
We'll let GSX know that we have a good engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Alright.
Cherokee 315 X-ray Papa, give way to
Hydraulic
the
pump 3 is coming on.
Continue taxi via taxiway Bravo.
Giving way to the Embraer, continuing taxi via Bravo Cherokee 315 X-ray Papa.
Engine number 2 is coming on.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Alright, now we can go ahead and check our flight controls. So we'll go ahead and Do that. Flight controls. Alright, flight controls check out just fine. Brake temps all look good. Map. And we will go ahead and disconnect. And we are set to go. Flaps are set. Alright. After start, flaps are set. APU is off. And hydraulic pump 3 is on. Flight controls is checked. Taxi lights. Got those turned on. ACARS is already started. And so we are all ready to go. So, we've already got our taxi clearance. So we can go ahead and...
Takeoff okay.
Alright, takeoff's okay. And Stephanie, can you go ahead and give us a departure briefing? And we'll get our departure briefing from Stephanie and be on our way.
We'll be departing from runway 34 left, flying the Arches 1 departure with an initial climb clearance to 7,000 feet. Transition altitude is 18,000 feet. After takeoff, we'll follow the SID profile. Weather at departure shows no significant weather expected en route. In the event of an engine failure below 400 feet, we'll continue straight ahead and follow ATC instructions. Above 400 feet, we'll follow the engine out SID procedure, climbing to 3,000 feet before turning back. For any abnormalities or emergencies before V1, we'll reject the takeoff and apply maximum braking. After V1, we'll continue the takeoff, handle the emergency, and communicate with ATC. Cleared as filed. Squawk code is 2454, and departure frequency will be 120.9er, configured for takeoff with flaps 5. V1 is 142 knots, VR is 147 knots, and V2 is 152 knots. We'll climb out at V2 plus 10 knots. I think we're ready to go, Captain.
All right. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Great departure briefing.
You're welcome, Dustin. Let's have a smooth flight to Phoenix.
I agree. For a nice, smooth flight. Helps to stay in the middle of the runway.
Cherry 15 X-ray Papa cross runway 27, contact ground on 121.9. Crossing runway 27, contacting ground on 121.9, Cherokee Tree 15 X-ray Papa.
Alright. So coming down on Alpha, go to the end here and get ready for takeoff. Looks like they've got a couple of them stacked up out there as they're coming in. I don't know if you guys can quite see that, but you can see them on my screen. I did look, and there's not too many American Airlines Envoy flights that are out west. There's not a whole heck of a lot. They're all CRJs, which is SkyWest, and Air Shuttles, which is Mesa Airlines. So we'll probably, after we get done with Phoenix, we'll probably head back to Albuquerque. We might do that tonight. Just depends on how well things go here. So Stephanie, can you go ahead and request our takeoff clearance? So lights are coming on. Landing lights, inspection lights are on,
tower for takeoff clearance.
steril's on, notify, and we're going to go ahead and turn our TCAS on, and before takeoff,
Salt Lake Tower,
well, that's good.
Envoy
Takeoff config has already been
holding
checked.
short at runway 34 left,
We're
ready
good.
for takeoff.
Flight attendants, please take your seats for
runway 34
takeoff.
left, winds 265 at 6. RNAV scanned, cleared for takeoff.
Okay, Captain, cabin crew, take seats for departure.
Alright.
Runway 34 left, RNAV scant, cleared for takeoff. Envoy 4026.
Good out there. Stephanie, she's just a beast. Alright, final looks clear out there. Get lined up with the runway. Arm the auto throttles. And here we go. Synced up our heading bug. There we go. Now we're ready. Alright, engines are stable. Auto throttle's kicking in. Takeoff power is set. Engines look good. Both engines, 2 good engines. Airspeed is alive. Hold center line. 80 knots. Get back on center line a little bit here. There we go. And V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear coming up. And we're just going to continue hand flying her.
Envoy 4026, contact departure on 120.9er.
Skylane 422 Alpha Mike, turn left, heading 280. Maintain 2,000 feet vectors for traffic. Left turn heading 280, maintaining 2,000 feet. Skylane 422 Alpha Mike.
Flaps coming up to 1.
Salt
Flaps
Lake
coming up to
departure,
2.
Envoy 4026, evening, climbing past 6,000.
Envoy
Autopilot
4026,
on.
Salt Lake departure.
Flight level
Radar
change.
contact. Clear direct scant. Climb and maintain flight level 250.
Cleared direct scant, climb and maintain flight level 250, Envoy 4026.
Up to 250. Flight level change. And getting back on course here. Alright. You're on our way. Do have to watch out for these mountains off to the side here, off to our left. We are below those, so we could get CFIT, controlled flight into terrain. Make sure that we're managing that. So we are direct, scant, however you would like to say it. So we are direct there, and there's our 250. So now we'll start pitching up to hold this airspeed and climb to our flight level 250. So we'll go ahead and grab after takeoff checklist. Landing gear is up, confirmed. APU is off, confirmed. And slats and flaps are up, confirmed. After takeoff checklist is complete. Nice look out there at the mountains. Looks like we got a power plant down there. Good look at Salt Lake City and all the airplanes out there.
Dear guests, we are now at a safe altitude, and you are welcome to use your electronic devices. Please ensure that they are set to airplane mode.
Alright,
Also,
through
I'd like to
10,000, we can go ahead and
inform
turn
you
off
that our
landing
online
lights.
service is now available for your convenience.
And sterile can go ahead and come on off as we're at scant, turning left. Now we're direct arch. And at scant we need to be above 10,000, which we are. And then arches we need to be above 13,000, which we are coming up with.
Envoy 4026, climb and maintain flight level 300.
Up to 300.
Climb and maintain flight level 300, Envoy 4026.
So we're above the 13,000, which is arts. So we've met that restriction. And then the next one is Trillia at flight level 190. And I don't have any problems thinking that we're going to make that one. So that'll be good. And we'll go ahead and double sync up our heading bug here, as we are well on our way to Phoenix. Check pressurization. We are pressurizing, climbing at 300 feet per minute. Cabin altitude currently is at 1,700 feet with a pressure PSI of 5.6, so we are good there. We did get the stall protections, and the engine 2 valve and the engine 1 valve is open, and the wing valve is open for icing.
2 miles, same altitude, advised if in sight. Looking for traffic, 6 Alpha Lima.
Envoy 4026, contact Salt Lake Center on 135.775.
Switching to Salt Lake Center on 135.775, Envoy 4026.
And after arches, we've got Trillia, in which we are on our way to Trillia right now, and we need to be above flight level 190.
Salt Lake Center, Envoy 4026, evening, climbing past 16,000, aiming for flight level 300.
Alright, it's a hard altitude of nothing below 19,000. So we're going to pull back our speed a little bit so we can get a little bit higher climb. We need to be above 19,000 at Trillia, just to make sure of that. So we're going to pull up a little bit higher by basically going into manage mode on our speed and turning our speed down. And so there we go. Now we can go back into manage mode. We're above flight level 190. So we'll go a quick tap of our attendant call. They can start serving the beverages.
Center, climb and maintain flight level 350. Climb and maintain flight level 350, Envoy 4026.
And up to flight level 350, we've been cleared up to our cruising altitude, which is good. Lisa, you can go ahead and start serving the beverages now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin our beverage service. We have a
There we
selection
go.
of soft drinks, juices, and water available. Please let us know if you have any preferences, and we'll be happy to serve you. Thank you.
All right. Take a look out at the beautiful mountains. Beautiful mountains out there. Beautiful sunset as well. And we are well on our way.
Delta 1562, expedite descent to flight level 240, traffic ahead. Expedite descent to flight level 240, Delta 1562.
All right. So now we can kind of sit back, relax, get a drink. It's nice and smooth up here today. So far on this route, we started off in Dallas, which is our home base, as you guys probably should know. And after we left Dallas, we went to Springfield, Missouri, my home airport. And then after we went to Springfield, we went to Chicago. And then we went from Chicago to Salt Lake City. And now we're going from Salt Lake City back to Phoenix and start making our way back to Dallas. And then we will probably, after we get done with that, we will probably head back to Dallas and then go Dallas, and we'll probably go down, try and go down to Miami. So should start making our way back to the East Coast, which is always nice because it's usually a shorter flight time. The way out here to Salt Lake City is a 3-hour flight. It took a while because we had about a 90 knot headwind. Basically, our ground speed right now with 385 was about as fast as we were able to get going. So it was a little on the slower pace, but it's all right. So once we get up to cruise, we'll cruise about Mach 79. You guys forgot to tell me we forgot to put our strobes on.
FedEx 389 heavy descend and maintain 12000.
Descending to 12000, FedEx 389 heavy.
$1,000 to go. Got about 7 to go till we get to Edith.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached cruising altitude on this Envoy Air Flight 4026, heading from Salt Lake City to Phoenix. We will begin our snack and drink service shortly. And I must say, we have some delicious options available today, including our savory pretzel bites and refreshing fruit cups. After our service, we'll also have items from the Envoy Air Shop available for purchase. Thank you for flying with us, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Yeah, super excited for whenever they get the VNAV and the FMS, because they're going to be coming out, not just for the VNAV, because I can handle without that. I mean, it's going to be great to have it, but it's alright not having it. I haven't had any issues. I've flown this plane for quite some time now, and I don't know, probably 40, 50 different flights, and haven't had any issues with not having the VNAV meeting restrictions. So, but just the better radar, better terrain, more features, to be able to plan a little bit better for fuel and that kind of stuff, because right now it's just using all the stock stuff inside the Microsoft Flight Simulator, so it'd be nice not to have to worry about that. So right now we've got a 82 knot crosswind. And our ground speed's about 436, true airspeed is 462. So unless we run into a bunch of bumps or something like that, we should be able to maintain our Mach 268 indicated, which would be 0.79 Mach.
American Tree 50, traffic alert, climb immediately to flight level, Tree 40. Climbing immediately to flight level, Tree 40, American Tree 50.
Should be nighttime by the time we get to Phoenix. Sun should set. We do have the panels that are night dimming, so they dim as well with as the sun starts to set automatically. doggone it. We always forget to close this door, Stephanie. Close and then lock the door. So I'm going to go look at our OFP to see what it says we should have for fuel at this given location. So when we get just past Sevier, so at Sevier we should have 7,000 pounds, and right now we have 7,600 pounds. So doing a little bit better on fuel than what they anticipated, so that's always good. So when we start our start the Bruiser 1, should have Bruiser 1 is going to be 5.0, so we should have about 5,000 pounds of fuel when we start our first initial fix of Bruiser, or tints. It's going to be tints, not
Here at 792, expect direct waypoint Tango India Mike in 5 minutes.
tints. We should have 5.1.
Expecting direct to Tango India Mike
So we'll
in 5
monitor
here at 792.
how much fuel we've got, make sure we've got plenty of fuel. And our first altitude restriction that we're going to have is going to be panted at flight level 290. We're going to need about 3 minutes doing 2,000 feet per minute. We'll give ourselves a little bit of a cushion, and so we'll do at 4 minutes, which will be 28 nautical miles. That's when we'll want to start our descent before we get to painted. And tints is 18 nautical miles, so we'll want to start at 10 miles before we get to paint, or tints. So 10 miles before our first initial fix of our rivals, when we'll want to start down. As we're coming up to Milford, which the identifier is MILF, VOR. Right now we've got a 10-degree crab angle into the wind because of the 83 knots crosswind that we have coming on our off of our right side. So once we get to Milford VOR, then we'll be making a left turn, and so that should maybe help a little bit of the wind. The wind should push us from the back. One thing we can look at is how much fuel we should have when we get to Phoenix. what are they estimating? They're estimating that we'll have about 4.3 when we land.
Envoy 4026, contact Salt Lake Center on 120.275.
Switching to Salt Lake Center on 120.275. Envoy 4026.
Stephanie's really good at handling the comms for us. Flew the other day. Actually, I flew the flight up to Chicago and did all the comms
Flight level
myself.
350.
Envoy 4026, Salt Lake Center, good evening.
I did see that Salt Lake Center was on for that sim, but I kind of like. I mean, even in the real world, you have a first officer or the captain. You know, either one, whoever, depending on who's flying and who's handling the comms. But it's a two-person aircraft, so you're never alone up there. So might as well take advantage of having the readbacks and also at least in the back. Just a lot of cool features that I like about making it a little bit more realistic with the
November
signs and shit. And
672,
you always
Bravo
have
Charlie,
coverage.
climb and maintain 10,000.
Climbing to 10,000, November 672, Bravo Charlie.
I did see also in there that you can, with the say intentions down, that you can have it use your voice for the first officer, which is kind of cool. So maybe someday we will do that instead of having Stephanie on board. Take a look at the panels. There's also the overhead, which you guys all know about. See the little fingerprints on the window there. It's kind of funny. It's a lot of scratches though. A lot of scratches on all these windows. So now we're cooking. We've got that pretty much almost a tailwind now, 84 knots. So now we're ground speed's about 515. Still holding true at 465, which I believe we plan for whenever we file. I think we plan for 440 is what the book says. So at BCE, let's check our fuel. Fuel's one of the most important things. You always got to make sure that you have enough fuel. You're burning what you say you're going to burn. That way you're not possibly losing fuel somewhere that you don't know about, leaking it out the side, something of that nature. So. So when we get to BCE, which will be Bryce Canyon, VOR, we should have 6.2. Right now we're at 7.3, and we've got about 3 minutes, so should be looking good, but keep monitoring that. So we got about 3 minutes till we get to there, to the Bryce Canyon.
Envoy 4026, Salt Lake Center, expect the Brusser 1 arrival. Plan for descent in maybe 15 minutes.
Expecting the Brusser 1 arrival. Planning descent in 15 minutes. Envoy 4026.
And if you guys remember, we're going to want to start our descent about 10 nautical miles before we get to tent. So we'll call and request for descent when we get there if they haven't given it to us yet. I always like to follow ATC's orders, even though they did bring me down sooner than what I wanted to coming into Salt Lake. I was flying in between some mountains with the mountains above us, and I don't really care for that, and we were a little high compared to what the approach plate says, so I like to stick to what the approach arrival plate says and hitting those altitudes, because those are tried and true and tested. That's what they're there for. So, hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, or if there's anything you want to see or talk about, be happy to chat along. Right now we are on our way to Phoenix in the FSS ERJ, doing all the envoy flights for American Airlines. I usually fly with real world weather on, but if you guys would rather have it during the day, be happy to change it to the daytime. But that's the whole point of having the night dimming and all that, to make it more realistic. So sometimes we gotta fly at night, sometimes we gotta fly in bad weather. So right at Bryce, getting ready to make our turn, and let's take a look at our OFP. And at Bryce we needed to have we need to have 6.2, and we've got 7.1 as we're hitting Bryce, so we are ahead of schedule for fuel. So we should be able to watch now, just maintain our fuel flow, making sure that nothing looks too crazy in the fuel quantity. So we lost about 50 knots from going from having the tailwind to now having crosswind. Just getting our heading bug all pulled up here.
Hawaiian 104, climb and maintain flight level 410. Climbing to flight level 410, Hawaiian 104.
So we've got about 11 minutes till we get to Corker. We've got about 18 minutes till we get to Tents. Which Tents is where we want to start our descent. So we can go ahead and get our arrival plate pulled up. So we can take a look at that.
Envoy 4026, contact Los Angeles Center on 127.35.
Contacting Los Angeles Center on 127.35, Envoy 4026. Los Angeles Center, Envoy 4026, good evening, maintaining flight level 350.
Envoy 4026, Los Angeles Center, good evening.
See somebody out there? Let's take a look at it.
7 Bravo Charlie, remain clear of restricted area 2503. Remaining clear of restricted area 2503, Mooney 567 Bravo Charlie.
Airplane down there.
645, climb and maintain flight level 380.
Climbing to flight level 380, Hawaiian 645.
American 467, maintain 250 knots.
Maintaining 250 knots. American 467.
Lisa, can you go ahead and get the, let everybody know we're getting ready to start our descent, sit down and buckle their seatbelts?
Okay, Captain. I will make the announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your lead flight attendant, Lisa speaking. We are beginning our descent into Phoenix shortly. Please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. Thank you for your cooperation.
Descending via Bruster 1 into Phoenix. Envoy 4026.
Alright, let's get our descent checklist. So our descent checklist is lights and seatbelts. We don't need any lights. We've got the seatbelt signs are on. Altimeters, which we can leave alone. Landing data is reviewed. We'll get that as we start our down. And auto brake. We will set that here in just a minute. So. Alright, auto brake is low, and let's go ahead and get our performance. And we're going to go ahead and get our landing.
Speed to 280 knots for sequencing.
The use of the lavatory.
Flowing to 280 knots, FedEx 101
Thank
heavy.
you for your cooperation.
Approach course is going to be 258. And temperature, let's go ahead and grab that from. Temperature is 27, 81 degrees there. And winds are 240 at 4. Bedding data is all set. Alright, descent checklist. Lights were good. Altimeters were good. Landing data has been reviewed. Auto brake is set. Seatbelts and shoulder harnesses, we've got those on. And let's go ahead and have Stephanie give us our approach briefing. Stephanie, can you go ahead and give us our approach briefing, please?
We'll be arriving in Phoenix on runway 26 using the ILS approach. We'll be flying the Bruster 1 arrival. Transition level is 18,000 feet. After the star, we'll intercept the ILS to runway 26. Weather at arrival shows winds 230 at 4 knots, clear skies, no significant weather expected. In the event of a missed approach, we'll follow the published missed approach procedure. Squawk code remains 2454, and approach frequency will be 119.2. We'll configure for landing with flaps 30. Final approach speed will be 135 knots. I think we're ready for the arrival, Captain.
All right. Thank you very much, Stephanie. Appreciate that. So 290, and then at...
You're welcome, Dustin. Let's have a smooth arrival into Phoenix.
Duty is going to be flight level 240. we've got 1 minute, 10 nautical miles till we get to paint it.
Envoy 4026, contact Albuquerque Center on 135.325.
Switching to Albuquerque Center on 135.325. Envoy 4026.
Then we will have Mayor at 270, so
Albuquerque Center,
Let's set
Envoy
that up.
4026. Evening. We're descending through flight level 300.
Envoy 4026, Albuquerque Center, good evening.
coming up on flight level 290. Then we can go down to flight level 240 is going to be our next altitude restriction. And then after that, going down to flight level 190 after duty. Keep our heading bug synced up, and let's check our flight. And let's check our fuel as we start our descent. So when we get to
461 heavy cleared for the
Tints.
Star arrival contact approach on 119.3.
should have 5.1 and we've got 6.2, so we are ahead of schedule, so should be good. Fuel's looking good. Leveling off here at flight level 240. Then we can go down to 190 and 270 on the speed. We'll have to manually do that. Okay, we can go down to 190. 2,000 feet per minute, and we will go into manual mode, and we will slow down to 270 on the speed.
descend and maintain flight level 260.
Descending to flight level 260, FedEx 687 Heavy.
And we're starting our descent on down. Heading into Phoenix. Should be a nice arrival. Or a nice day out here. And now we're on to Bruiser, and Bruiser we can be at 13,000. And we will VS that, and we'll go down at 1,500 feet per minute. And we'll start slowing down to 260, and then once we get a little bit closer, then we'll slow down to the 250. Below 18,000, go ahead and put on our sterile cockpit. And go ahead and let the attendants know. Two chimes for 18,000, one chime for 10,000. So that way they know where we're at.
Lufthansa 441 Heavy, proceed direct to 6 Alpha Lima Tango.
Proceeding direct to Alpha Lima Tango, Lufthansa 441 Heavy.
And we'll go ahead and slow down to our 250.
Envoy 4026, Albuquerque Center, contact Phoenix approach on 128.65.
Switching to Phoenix approach on 128.65. Envoy 4026. Phoenix approach, Envoy 4026, evening, descending past 16,000.
Envoy 4026, Phoenix approach. Good evening, Phoenix altimeter 29.88. Expect the ILS runway 26 approach into Phoenix.
Altimeter 2988, expecting the ILS runway 26 approach. Envoy 4026.
Minimums are 1385. Nice look out of Phoenix out in front of us, 13,000, and then after that we can go down to 11,000. So altitude, continue on down to 11, and we need to be at 250. So
Envoy 4026, contact Luke approach on 124.85.
Switching to Luke approach on 124.85, Envoy 4026. Luke approach, Envoy 4026, evening, descending through 13,000 feet.
Envoy 4026, Luke approach. Good evening. Phoenix altimeter 29.85.
yeah, 2980 is what we need to set for. That's what's being injected. I know that they tell me that the altimeter is something different, but so we're on to Antony, and that's 11,000. We're coming up on that. After Antony, we can go down to 9,000.
Heavy descend to 5,000, expect RNAV approach, runway 21.
Descending to 5,000,
And we can
expecting
now be at
RNAV 21,
250.
GPS 1302 heavy.
There's our 11,000. Then we're coming up on Ante, and then after Ante we can go down to 9. And there's our 11,000. So let's take a look at our performance, and our approach is going to be 130. Our approach speed, so there's Z-Lub, so we can go down to 9,000.
Envoy Envoy 4026, Luke approach. Contact Phoenix approach on 119.2.
Switching to Phoenix approach on 119.2, Envoy 4026.
And so we need to be at 9,000 at Z-Lub, and then Breeze, we're going to be at 8,000 and 230
Phoenix
on
approach, Envoy 4026,
speed.
evening, descending past 10,000.
So we can go ahead and start slowing us down to 230.
Phoenix approach. Good evening.
Captain,
Phoenix
Captain
altimeter 29.83.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now beginning our final approach into Phoenix. Please turn off your electronic devices and stow them until we arrive at the gate. Ensure your tray tables are put away, your seats are in their full upright position, and your seatbelts are fastened. Once on the ground, our Envoy Air staff will provide you with information regarding your connecting flights. Thank you for your cooperation. You're welcome, Captain. We're here to help.
Down to 8,000.
Bonanza 77 Tree Delta Echo traffic at 11 o'clock, 3 miles eastbound, altitude unknown.
For traffic, 773 Delta Echo.
And then after Breeze, we're going to go down to Cuckoo at 7 and 210.
Envoy 4026, descend and maintain 5,000, turn left, heading 100 vectors for the ILS runway 26 approach.
Descend and maintain 5,000, left heading 100 for vectors to the ILS runway 26 approach. Envoy 4026.
Preview is on. Preview course is set to 301, which is not correct. Course needs to be 258. And our frequency is 111.75. Landing lights are all on. Fasten seatbelt signs are all on. Altimeters are set. Before landing, flight attendants is notified. Lisa, please take your seat. Flight attendants, please take your seats for landing. And landing gear down,
Okay,
3
Captain.
green.
Cabin crew,
Flaps are set. Landing lights are on. So just got to worry about flaps and gear the rest of the way. And we can go ahead and start slowing us down to 180. No reason to go nowhere fast. It's we're on vectors.
FedEx 1210, fly heading 280, descend and maintain 5,000.
280 down to 5,000, FedEx 1210.
And Prune is going to be our final approach fix.
Envoy 4026, 4 miles from Jagal. Turn right heading 195, descend and maintain 4,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 26 approach.
4 miles from Jagal, right heading 195. Descend and maintain 4,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 26 approach. Envoy 4026.
Pretty clear out there. I don't see anybody. I see one down there on final now. Right there.
Contact Phoenix Tower on 118.7.
Switching to Phoenix Tower on 118.7.
Localizer's been
Envoy
captured.
4026.
You can go ahead and go. Speed. Go ahead and go down to 150.
Phoenix Tower, Envoy 4026. Evening. We're established on the ILS approach for runway 26.
Envoy 4026, Phoenix Tower, roger. Envoy 4026, Phoenix Tower traffic at your 12 o'clock, less than 1 mile at 5,000 Boeing.
Traffic in sight. Envoy 4036.
Envoy 4026, roger, continue approach. Envoy 4026, winds 230 at 4, runway 26, clear to land.
Runway 26, clear to land. Envoy 4026.
So we're putting our gear down a little bit soon because we need to get down. Alright, we've got 3 green. Flight attendant's been notified. Flaps are set. And flight slope has been captured. And we are on glide slope, and we can go and start slowing down.
Hold short of runway 30 traffic on final. Holding short of runway 30 Bonanza 64 Foxtrot Alpha 2.
Alright, we'll go ahead and kick off the autopilot. Sync up the heading bug. Good there. little bit low, but we're all right. Got a visual, so we can accept that.
Minimums. 300. Minimums. 200. 100. Glide slow, glide slow. 50, 20, 10.
That wasn't the best landing. We floated a little bit, so. But we made it. Welcome to Phoenix, Arizona, everybody.
Envoy 4026, welcome to Phoenix. Contact ground on 119.75.
Thank you, Captain. The announcement has been made.
Switching to ground on 119.75. Envoy 4026. Phoenix ground, Envoy 4026. Evening, we're clear of runway 26 and ready to taxi to the gate.
After landing, flaps are up, spoilers are up.
Envoy 4026, Phoenix ground, taxi to E2 via Bravo, Charlie 7, Charlie Whiskey. Good day.
Well, that was quite
Taxi to Echo 2 via Bravo, Charlie 7, Charlie Whiskey. Envoy 4026.
Lovely 27 degrees Celsius. Clear skies and no precipitation in sight. Perfect for enjoying the sunshine. Thank you for flying with Envoy Air today. Please remain seated until we reach our final parking position.
I think the landing could have been better. That was it's a little hard setting it down. Flared a little bit too soon. So take Charlie 8, which we're supposed to take Charlie 7, but we already passed it. Clear out there to the left.
Team Air 145 Kilo Alpha taxiing to holding point Bravo 2 via taxiway Delta and Echo.
Taxiing to holding point Bravo 2 via Delta and Echo King Air 145 Kilo Alpha.
Alright, I think this is our... This is where we are. Our gate. Bravo 12. Thank you so much for the subscribe. Appreciate that. All right. Parking brakes are set.
Takeoff. Brake.
Yep, we know that. And so shut down engine number 1. And wait for that to shut down. And we're good there. Shut down engine number 2. Good there. And seatbelt signs can go ahead and come on off. And welcome to Phoenix, everybody. Let's go ahead and get GSX and let's get us unloaded here.
The boarding requested.
And what do you guys say? Should we go on to another one? Hey, you live in Phoenix. Awesome, Fish Finder. Appreciate you joining. Also, thank you for the subscribe. Appreciate that. And doors are opening. Baggage carts are coming. Let's go ahead and get our wheel chocks put in and safety pins, and we'll get our GPU hooked up. And GPU is all hooked up. And we're in Phoenix.
Passengers, the boarding starting.
Alright, passengers are starting to get off the airplane. Man, the outside sounds are just so stinking loud. It's crazy at how loud they are. Yeah, that was a hard landing. That was kind of rough. Not gonna lie. Could have done better. Have done better. So TCAS is off. Too much light pollution in Phoenix. Sadly, can't see the stars like on here. Oh yeah, yeah. The stars, they look quite nice up there, don't they? I agree with you. All right. Well, Fish Finder, appreciate you joining, and I think we'll call it a night, and we will see you guys out on the next one. Have a good night, everybody.